Hello everyone, this is Mr. 13 Things coming at you again and hoping that this works. And what I'm going to do here is just try to show you, and I'm a little bit experimenting here, mimicking what they are doing at Udacity. Udacity. And again, that is a for-profit firm. They get their income, I think, amongst many other ways. They've got other jobs, many of them. Sebastian Thrun. One, I think, is by selling the list of the best performing students to employers. That's what I read someplace. So again, you have Udacity developing their interface. You have Coursera. You have MITx now with HarvardX, and you have Khan Academy with has an exercise framework. And you're going to see these things will evolve and probably adapt and pick up the best from each other. But for now, this is what was rich and personal about what David Evans and Sebastian Thrun and Peter Norvig did when they're in their first courses out of Udacity. And what they did is they would sit and write, for instance, the question here, like, have you ever designed a website? So they would write, question would be, have, and they were much better. Have you ever designed a website? Now, of course, they could write a little better. They had a little better interface. And they did this by design, I believe, because they thought it was much more personal to do the writing. And then they would come here and they would do something like this. They would put a little box there, and they would say yes, and another box there, and they would say no, and then they have another one there as I don't remember, perhaps. So and at that point, the video on the YouTube would stop, and another interface would pop up with just these questions, and the students would then go ahead and click actually a checkbox. What we're going to do here, and what I'm going to experiment with and do with y'all, is just have it so that the student brings the box, drops the movable dot into one of these general areas, right? And you'll see later on, it kind of will help, in fact, if you try to keep these in the same spots, you don't have to reprogram things. But you'll see here whether or not you want to use this interface, and what the downside is that you can't then randomize it and do other things like that. What the upside is you're in some ways empowering students to do this, because eventually I would hope you have students develop some of these quizzes and the like, so that they learn and get accustomed to this technology from a development sense, as opposed to just pick up your phone and be not so smart as you're walking across the street, like some of the kids and adults will do, or driving their cars. So learning to how this stuff works. So right now I had 1, 2, 3, 4. The dog is barking, sorry about that. And I'm going to say yes, no, I don't remember, and I will. And in this case, and I will say mark only one. Only one. And we'll see where we can now save this, push it out. I will let you know this is 640 by 480. And I will now save this and export it, and I'll show you how the export goes right now. Background layer, I can now just right over here, I can go export layer image. I'm going to export it now to a PNG file. I'm putting it not to Bucky Images. You need to know where things are going. I'll put it in Bucky Images right now. Not modeling very well. I'm going to call this Quiz 1 Demo. And we'll see later where that comes in. Remember 640 by 480, that should then drop into the framework, and we'll then have to define what is the correct place to put it. Thanks for listening.